time long ago, when the world was filled with untold mysteries and divine tales, there lived a devout monk named Xuanzang. His heart burned with an unwavering desire to obtain sacred Buddhist scriptures, which would illuminate the path for all sentient beings. He yearned to spread the teachings of wisdom and compassion, venturing beyond the familiar mountains of his homeland. One evening, as Xuanzang meditated under a canopy of twinkling stars, a celestial decree descended from the heavens. A divine proclamation echoed through the air, guiding him towards an ancient land rich in echoes of Enlightenment India. He understood that this journey would not only test his devotion, but also his very spirit. To make this noble quest possible, the heavens summoned an extraordinary protector. With a flicker of brilliance, the cunning monkey king, Sun Wukong, emerged in a whirl of clouds and mischief. With a gleaming staff in hand and radiating playful energy, Sun Wukong was a sight to behold. Yet, his playful antics often brought him into trouble, testing the boundaries of patience and wisdom. The journey began to take shape. Xuanzang was joined by two unlikely companions. The first was Sha Wujing, a loyal river spirit who had been transformed into a dependable bodyguard. His calm demeanor brought peace to the group, offering a reassuring presence amid the chaos. Alongside them was Zhu Bajie, a half-man, half-pig creature whose insatiable appetite was matched only by his heart's capacity for friendship. Though his flaws often raised eyebrows, his jovial spirit added a vibrant hue to their expedition. With hearts interwoven by purpose and a spirit of camaraderie, the group set off towards the horizon, where the sun kissed the land with the promise of new adventures. They found themselves at the edge of a mythical bridge, shadowed by a mischievous spirit renowned for its cunning nature. This spirit perched upon the bridge, devouring those who dared to cross. They approached. Sun Wukong took the lead, showcasing his prowess. With a cunning smirk, he spun through the air, challenging the spirit to a playful duel of wits. The river spirit, Sha Wujing, kept a watchful eye, ready to step in if mischief escalated. Meanwhile, Zhu Bajie, overwhelmed by curiosity and a rumbling stomach, glanced towards the spirit, wondering if it could serve as a meal. With each playful exchange and dazzling display of strength, the spirit grew weary of Sun Wukong's antics. It found itself outmatched and, in frustration, withdrew from its post. A bridge stood open, granting the group safe passage toward their greater purpose. Cheers of victory echoed in their hearts as they crossed to the other side, the sense of accomplishment tightening the bonds between them. Yet, unknown trials awaited on the winding path ahead. Each step carried whispers of adventures yet to come, prompting a deepening resolve in Xuanzang's soul. Boldened by their narrow escape, the travelers journeyed onward, their spirits soaring toward the chapters of enlightenment that lay just beyond the horizon. Tapestry of shared dreams and unwavering faith enveloped them. The journey had only just begun, and with it, a promise of discovery awaited. The journey continued. The four companions found themselves navigating through a dense, mist-laden forest. The sun hung low in the sky, casting eerie shadows through the towering trees. Silence enveloped the surroundings, only to be broken by the rustling of leaves and distant echoes that seemed to tease the travelers. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. From the depths of the foliage, a mesmerizing voice began to sing. A captivating melody beckoned them closer, seducing their senses with its elegance. Wukong, aware of the dangers that lurked within enchantments, urged the group to remain vigilant. But Zhu Bajie, always swayed by temptation, found his attention captured by the unseen presence. He longed to discover the source of the haunting serenade, while Sha Wujing kept a watchful eye on their surroundings, sensing the danger that lay ahead. They inched further into the woods, the seductive voice transformed into a warm invitation, whispering promises of delight and treasures beyond their wildest dreams. Xuanzang felt the pull of the alluring call, but steadied his resolve, reminding himself of the sacred purpose that guided their path. Then, emerging from the shadows, a beautiful demoness appeared, cloaked in shimmering robes that sparkled like starlight. She did an enchanting aura as she danced gracefully, her movements fluid and hypnotic. A forest around them seemed to shimmer as she swirled, drawing them closer with her enchanting spell. Zhu Bajie, helpless against her charms, staggered forward as if entranced. Wukong quickly leaped into action, positioning himself between the demoness and his companions. With a wink and a broad grin, he challenged her, claiming to be the most clever being in the world. The demoness laughed, unafraid, and flirted back, playfully suggesting that perhaps he was not clever enough to resist her. Their banter intensified. Sun Wukong's cunning mind worked to outsmart the demoness. He devised a strategy centered around humor, playfully guessing her name and origins, while evading her attempts to ensnare him and his companions. Each clever remark infused the atmosphere with distraction, and gradually, the beauty of the demoness began to dissolve, revealing her true, fearsome form. The air crackled with an energy that signaled a looming battle. The demon threatened the group with illusions designed to tear at their heart's desires. Wujing and Zhu Bajie regrouped, standing beside Xuanzang, forming a united front against her dark sorcery. Together, they countered her tricks by focusing on their shared bond and purpose. A monk's teachings of compassion and understanding resonated within them, reminding them of the strength they found through unity. They reaffirmed their commitment to support one another, even in the face of temptation. Meanwhile, the demoness grew frustrated. Her attempts to manipulate their weaknesses only heightened their resolve. With one final act to immerse them in false euphoria, she conjured a valley of illusions that surrounded the travelers. The lush terrain appeared tempting, filled with the tantalizing sights and smells of a grand banquet. Zhu Bajie's stomach growled loudly, echoing through the air, tempting him further still. Before he could let his desire rule him, Sun Wukong leaped higher than the tallest trees, dashing through the illusions like lightning. He shattered the mirage with a mere flick of his wrist, unveiling the truth behind the demoness' deception. The demoness, realizing her hold on them was slipping, unleashed her fury, transforming into a monstrous serpent that slithered through the forest, intent on devouring them whole. A forest trembled in response, but together, the group utilized their skills. Sha Wujing summoned the strength of the river in him, creating bridges of water for his friends to cross, while Zhu Bajie used his speed and cleverness to find the serpent's weak points, distracting it with comedic antics. The mayhem unfolded. Sun Wukong delivered swift strikes, a whirlwind of strength and agility, driving the serpent back. With each movement, he united their spirits, and soon, they found rhythm in their shared purpose, defeating the monstrous demoness and freeing themselves from her enchantment. In the aftermath, the forest's ominous ambience lifted, revealing a radiant light. Their victory not only marked the end of the demon's grasp, but also deepened their bonds through trust and collaboration. They caught their breath and moved onward. They encountered a serene clearing, where a radiant deity stood amidst the blossoming flowers. The deity smiled at their courage and bestowed wisdom upon them, illuminating the truth of the trials they had faced and the lessons woven within. Each warrior and monk learned that the greatest strength lies not merely in defeating foes, but in standing together through temptation and darkness. With the sun now setting, casting a golden hue upon the horizon, they continued their journey, hearts full of hope and minds sharper than ever. The road still lay ahead, lined with challenges, but now they marched forward as a harmonious collective, ready to confront whatever lay beyond the next bend. The sun began to set, casting golden hues across the landscape. The journey grew more arduous. Nevertheless, their spirits remained high, each step resonating with purpose and faith. Yet, they soon discovered that the path ahead held darker challenges than they could have imagined. Deep within the forest, shadows danced ominously. Full Demon King lurked, eager to capture Xuanzang, believing that his pure spirit would grant him unfathomable strength. The air thickened with tension as the ominous presence began to envelop them. Without warning, the Demon King struck, his dark power ensnaring Xuanzang in an otherworldly trap, gleaming with threads of chaos and despair. Fear rippled through the group as they watched their devoted leader taken captive. Wukong, with a heart racing like a tempest, leaped into action, and determination ignited within him, and with each beat of his heart, he summoned the depths of his strength. With his magical staff in hand, he charged forward, daring to face the Demon King. Drawn into a fierce battle, Sun Wukong unleashed a dazzling display of acrobatics and ferocity, matching the demon's formidable powers with wit and ingenuity. Meanwhile, Sha Wujing stood frozen at first, fear warring with loyalty as he watched his companions engage in perilous combat. Epic clashes echoed through the trees, but for the loyal river spirit, the battle transcended mere physical confrontation. Memories of his past demons resurfaced moments of failure and inadequacy that haunted him even in this noble quest. A weight of his past pressed down heavily, yet amidst the chaos, a flicker of courage ignited. Wujing felt the pull of redemption, understanding that his loyalty to Xuanzang was a promise he could not forsake. With newfound resolve, he stepped forward, joining the fight not just as a bodyguard, but as a warrior tethered to purpose. Sun Wukong and Sha Wujing coordinated their efforts. Zhu Bajie observed with a glint of mischief sparkling in his eyes. Amidst the urgency, he couldn't stifle a chuckle, recognizing an opportunity. The Demon King, despite his ferocity, was rather naive to the power of distraction. Making humorous remarks and making exaggerated gestures, Zhu Bajie disrupted the demon's focus. He danced and twirled, exaggerating the weight of his own body, forcing the demon to momentarily consider the absurdity unfolding before him. This folly, the demon found confusion growing within, allowing space for the group's strategy to unfold. With the Demon King momentarily bewitched, Sun Wukong seized the chance to strike. Unleashing an explosive series of attacks, he combined strength with an agile prowess that left the ground trembling beneath their feet. Together, the three companions worked in tandem, each moving fluidly to counter their adversary. The king, now faced with a united front, began to falter, and for the first time, trepidation swept across his formidable facade. The climactic battle brewed. Xuanzang, though still trapped, focused his spirit. His essence radiated a gentle light, breaking through the darkness that confined him. The teachings of compassion and resolve enveloped his being, illuminating the path for his companions. Their efforts were not solely for victory, but to protect the sanctity of wisdom they sought. After what felt like an eternity, the Demon King finally succumbed to the relentless synergy of their spirits. With a final triumphant strike from Sun Wukong, the demon was defeated, dissipating into shadows that melted away as dawn began to break. Xuanzang, now free, emerged from the remnants of darkness that had held him captive, finding strength in the hearts of his loyal friends. Exhausted yet exultant, the group gathered together, a profound silence falling over them. That moment, they acknowledged something deeper. Their bond had grown beyond mere friendship. They were now brothers in arms, united by trials faced and victories claimed. They stood amidst a landscape reborn with the morning light. Their hearts swelled with gratitude and understanding. The shadows of the past no longer lingered over them, having transformed into lessons learned. Together, they continued their journey, each step a testament to their resilience, a swan song of unity guiding them toward the sacred land of India, where their ultimate purpose awaited. The sun broke over the horizon, bathing the land in golden rays. The four companions felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had faced fierce temptations and emerged stronger, but the journey was far from over. Their next destination lay ahead: India, the sacred land where the treasured scriptures awaited. With each step, they traversed rolling hills and lush valleys, their spirits buoyed by the promise of enlightenment. Xuanzang, ever committed to his sacred mission, recalled the visions he had experienced during their trials. Wisdom granted by the radiant deity lingered in his thoughts, reminding him that true enlightenment stemmed from the unity forged among them. Their path brought them to a tranquil river, where the gentle currents whispered soothing tales of old. The banks, they paused, allowing the water to wash over their feet and refresh their weary souls. Zhu Bajie, ever the glutton, seized the opportunity to rummage through his pack for morsels of food, ready to feast by the riverside. Sha Wujing chuckled and joined him, suggesting they share their provisions, a small celebration of their triumphs. Wukong, however, gazed introspectively at the shimmering water. He understood that, while he wore the mantle of protector, It was Xuanzang who bore the heavy burden of their purpose. With a grin that danced in his eyes, he leapt from the bank and playfully splashed water towards his companions, pulling them momentarily from their reflections. Laughter that ensued melted away any lingering doubts or weariness. Xuanzang, inspired by their joy, reminded them of their sacred task. The journey to reclaim the scriptures was not merely a quest for knowledge, but a profound pilgrimage toward enlightenment. Each challenge faced had shaped them, and the hardships ahead would only serve to solidify their resilience. River flowing swiftly beneath them, they pressed onward. The closer they got to India, the more palpable the sense of destiny felt among them. The landscape shifted, unveiling colors more vibrant than they had ever witnessed. The air shimmered with an energy that spoke of ancient wisdom and awaiting enlightenment. They crossed into the sacred land. The travelers were greeted by the immense beauty of the temple that housed the sacred scriptures. Towering spires reached for the sky, adorned with intricate carvings that told stories of ages past. Xuanzang paused, overwhelmed by the sight. His heart swelled with gratitude for the journey thus far, and for the companions who had stood by his side through trials and triumph. They stepped inside. The cool shadows enveloped them, contrasting with the warmth of the sun outside. The air within was hushed, almost sacred, as if the whispers of countless monks echoed through the walls. At the heart of the temple lay the scriptures, bathed in a radiant glow. Xuanzang approached reverently, his hands trembling with anticipation as he reached for the sacred texts. The moment he touched the scrolls, a wave of wisdom flooded his being, lessons of compassion, understanding, and the intertwining of all sentient lives. He understood that this was only the beginning of their mission. Knowledge contained within these scriptures had to be shared, illuminating the world and bringing solace to countless hearts. Emerging from the temple, Xuanzang faced his companions, their eyes gleaming with excitement and pride. On this journey, as individuals brought together by fate, and now they stood united as a family, forever changed by their experiences. Each had developed strength and wisdom that supplemented their individual skills. A return journey unfurled before them, the path they had traveled now rich with meaning and shared experiences. Of their adventures, laughter echoing through the valleys, celebrating their victories and mourning the trials that had tested them. Yet, amidst the joy, profound understanding blossomed. This journey was a bridge, connecting them not only to each other, but to the communities they would touch upon their return. Their feet carried them closer to home. They reflected on the significance of each trial they had faced. Wukong thought of the mischief that had challenged their unity. Sha Wujing remembered the strength he had found in confronting his past, and Zhu Bajie cherished every bite he had shared with his companions. Realizing that joy lay within simple moments. With each step, they walked not just as protectors or companions, but as harbingers of enlightenment, bound to share the teachings that had been gifted to them. The woods that had once woven illusions around them now seemed like a distant memory, a reminder of their inner strength. The final destination came into view. The sun began its descent, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple. Xuanzang and his companions understood that their quest was never only about the scriptures. It was about the relationships forged along the way, the resilience found within each challenge, and the wisdom gathered in unity. Upon arriving home, they stood together before the gathered townsfolk who had awaited their return. Xuanzang greeted them with a smile, feeling the warmth of their collective spirit. He opened the sacred scriptures. The light from within illuminated the path ahead, promising to guide not only him but all who embraced its teachings. In that moment, the four companions grasped the truth of their journey. They had ventured into the unknown and returned transformed, ready to inspire others with tales of courage, friendship, and the unending quest for enlightenment. United in purpose, they would embark on the next chapter of their lives, instilling the seeds of wisdom they had gathered during their sacred journey to the West. The journey reached its final arc. The companions found themselves traversing the sunlit paths of India, a land vibrant with spiritual energy and ancient wisdom. Each heart beat with anticipation, knowing that the sacred scriptures lay just beyond the horizon. lessons of their trials infused every step, a reminder of the bond they forged along the way. Upon entering the sacred land, the air thickened with a reverence that enveloped them. Golden temples adorned the hills, each one radiating the teachings of compassion and enlightenment. Xuanzang felt a warmth within, igniting his spirit with every breath. He understood that the scriptures would not merely be texts, but a culmination of the wisdom and experiences they had gathered through their arduous journey. With great determination, Xuanzang sought out the grand temple at the heart of this spiritual realm. Its majestic spires reached toward the heavens, calling out to seekers far and wide. They approached, the temple gates opened, welcoming them into a sanctuary of tranquility. Xuanzang felt his heart swell with gratitude, reflecting on the paths taken and the obstacles overcome. Inside, they were greeted by revered monks, their faces serene and wise. The priest, adorned in intricate robes that shimmered with wisdom, sensed the purity of Xuanzang's intentions. With gentle eyes, he offered guidance, assuring Xuanzang that the sacred scriptures awaited him, a divine gift bestowed upon those who sought truth with pure hearts. At that moment, Xuanzang realized the profound significance of his journey. He had not only sought these scriptures to spread teachings, but had also learned invaluable lessons of patience, love, and unity from his companions. Together, they had faced demons and seductions that tested their resolve, yet emerged stronger and unbreakable family, bound by shared quests and understanding. Sha Wujing and Zhu Bajie watched their monk receive the sacred scrolls. They felt the weight of history and purpose. They had undergone transformations of their own, growing from mere protectors into warriors of spirit. Wujing's loyalty had cemented his role as a steadfast companion, while Zhu Bajie's antics had masked a depth of wisdom, nurturing joy even in the darkest moments. A high priest handed Xuanzang the scriptures, each scroll glowing softly in the palm of his hands. Tears of joy moistening his eyes, Xuanzang dedicated this moment to the trials faced, the friendships forged, and the enlightenment pursued. With reverence, he vowed to share the teachings inscribed within these scrolls, carrying forth the wisdom of Buddhism to guide countless others toward peace and understanding. They prepared to leave the sacred ground. The companions gathered one last time, reflecting on their extraordinary journey. With their hearts intertwined, they spoke of the lessons learned along the paths of danger and mirth, the laughter shared during times of hunger, and the courage gained from facing fears. The journey back home unfolded with a renewed sense of purpose. Each step resonated with wisdom gained. The once distant lands of childhood tales now became a tapestry woven by their adventures. The sun cast its golden rays upon them. They walked in harmony, embracing the changes that had shaped them. Upon returning to China, the air hummed with anticipation as townsfolk flocked to greet them. Xuanzang, holding the scriptures close, shared the teachings learned from the divine and the wisdom gained from their trials. He spoke not just of the sacred texts, but of the stories of loyalty, friendship, and resilience that blossomed through tribulations. In their words, they painted a picture of enlightenment that stretched beyond the scrolls, touching hearts and awakening spirits. Together, they celebrated the profound transformation that had unfolded throughout their journey, becoming not just messengers of Buddhism, but embodiments of its teachings in every bond and every whisper of compassion. Thus, their tales spread far and wide, reminder that even in the face of darkness, unity, friendship, and devotion are the guiding stars that light the path toward enlightenment. The skies above changed into hues of dusk. Their story became intertwined with the fabric of legends, echoing through the ages, a serene lullaby of courage and love, warming the hearts of those who dared to dream. Their journey continued toward India. The golden rays of dawn bathed the land in a warm embrace. The air was sweet with the promise of enlightenment, and the four companions felt a renewed sense of purpose. Having faced temptations that tested their spirits, they understood that their experiences had forged not only their bond, but also their character. With each step upon the ancient paths, they traversed serene hills dotted with wildflowers, the beauty of the landscape an echo of the sacred mission that pulled them forward. Xuanzang reflected deeply on the wisdom shared by the deity in the forest. reminding him that unity was the essence of their journey. He was a monk whose heart beat with determination, carrying not only the weight of the scriptures, but also the hopes of many souls. Their relaxed pace was abruptly interrupted as they approached a shimmering river, its waters glistening like diamonds. The gentle current whispered tales from ages past, resonating with the shared history of spirits who ventured forth as seekers of truth. Stopping to rest at the banks, the companions found solace in the refreshing embrace of nature. Zhu Bajie immediately took advantage of the moment, rummaging through his pack with glee. The aroma wafting from his stash sent his senses into a delightful frenzy, and he eagerly proclaimed his intentions to have a banquet by the riverside. Sha Wujing, amused by Zhu Bajie's unwavering enthusiasm, joined him, suggesting that they share their provisions as a celebration. Wukong, always the playful spirit, chuckled at his companion's delight while looking thoughtfully at the river. He understood the burdens Xuanzang carried, knowing that his own antics had often diverted attention from their sacred goal. With a mischievous glint in his eyes, he leapt into the water, splashing his companions and pulling them momentarily from their reflections, laughter echoing into the stillness. They indulged in the light-hearted banter. Xuanzang gathered his thoughts. His desire to obtain the scriptures was rooted not solely in the quest for knowledge, but also in an understanding that enlightenment was to be shared. Each trial they faced had brought them closer together, and this camaraderie would be essential for what lay ahead. Feeling refreshed, the travelers continued along the river's edge, their hearts light with anticipation of reaching the sacred land. The vibrant colors of their surroundings shifted, igniting the air with ancient energy that promised wisdom and transformation at every turn. It wouldn't be long before they'd arrive at the temple, a breathtaking sight that soared majestically into the heavens. On reaching the temple, they gazed in awe at its towering spires, adorned with intricate carvings that narrated stories entwined with divine history. Xuanzang's heart swelled with gratitude as they stepped into the sacred space, cool air wrapping around them like a gentle embrace, while whispers from the countless monks who had trodden this path before resonated within the hallowed halls. At the heart of the temple lay the scriptures, cloaked in a soft, radiant light. As Xuanzang approached, reverence washed over him. The moment his hands touched the scrolls, a rush of peace enveloped his being, illuminating lessons of compassion and interconnectedness. That instant, he realized the manuscripts held not just knowledge, but a deeper calling to share these teachings for the sake of all beings. Emerging from the temple, Xuanzang turned to his companions, his face aglow with tranquility and pride. He initiated this journey as strangers bound by fate, yet now they stood as a family forged in the crucible of shared trials and triumphs. Each had grown stronger, braver, and wiser, with threads of understanding woven tightly between them. The return journey unfolded before them like a beautifully crafted tapestry, a sequence of events rich with meaning and experiences. They conversed eagerly, their voices ringing with laughter and reflection as they retraced their steps. Every challenge they had faced had shaped them, leaving behind a legacy of resilience and spirits touched deeply. They wandered through familiar landscapes. Sun Wukong admired the mischief they had navigated, realizing that those encounters had taught them valuable lessons. Sha Wujing found comfort in the strength uncovered within himself during their battles. Zhu Bajie embraced a profound appreciation for the simple joys shared along the way, savoring each bite of food and laughter like a fine feast meant to nourish the soul. With the sun preparing to retire, casting hues of orange and purple across the horizon, their hearts brimmed with gratitude. They returned not just as wanderers, but as bearers of enlightenment, ready to share the wisdom gained from their sacred pilgrimage. Finally arriving home, they were met with eager smiles and open arms from the townsfolk who had long awaited their return. Xuanzang stepped forward, cradling the scriptures, feeling the warmth of the collective spirit surrounding him. He opened the sacred texts, a golden light spilled forth, illuminating their path and hearts alike, promising to guide all who embraced its teachings. In that moment, the four companions understood the essence of their journey. They had traversed unknown realms and returned transformed, prepared to inspire others with tales of courage, friendship, and the eternal quest for enlightenment. United in purpose, they would embark on the next chapter of their lives, one that would ripple through the lives of many, sowing seeds of wisdom and compassion throughout the world on their journey to the West. The final arc of their journey unfolded. Xuanzang and his loyal companions found themselves bathed in the warm glow of the Indian sun. Vibrant colors of the landscape filled their eyes with wonder and anticipation, for they were near their sacred goal, the esteemed scriptures that awaited them in a grand temple nestled in the heart of the land. With each step, anticipation coursed through them, a rhythm of excitement that mirrored the resounding heartbeat of the earth. Xuanzang felt a profound sense of purpose tugging at his spirit, a culmination of trials faced, and lessons learned throughout their arduous journey together. A sacred land whispered stories of enlightenment, urging them forward toward their destiny. They approached the grand temple, its towering spires reaching for the heavens, the air thickened with reverence and awe. Golden hues danced upon the intricate carvings adorning the temple's facade, each telling tales of compassion and spiritual awakening. Xuanzang's heart swelled with gratitude as he took in the uplifting sight, realizing that this would not merely be a collection of scrolls, but a treasure trove of wisdom nurtured by their experiences. Upon entering the temple, a serene hush enveloped them. Monks lined the hall, their countenances radiating peace and wisdom. A high priest, draped in resplendent robes adorned with symbols of enlightenment, approached Xuanzang. With kind eyes that seemed to peer deep into his soul, the priest acknowledged his pure intentions and the purity of heart that had guided him throughout his journey. A moment infused with sacred significance, the high priest handed Xuanzang the treasured scriptures. Xuanzang cradled the glowing scrolls. Warmth surged through his being, illuminating the lessons of compassion, empathy, and the fundamental interconnection of all life. Tears of joy brimmed in his eyes as he dedicated this moment not only to his hard-won quest, but to the unwavering support of his incredible companions, who had stood by him in both trials and triumphs. Together, they had faced formidable foes, demon spirits that threatened to ensnare them, myriad temptations, and each other's fear. Yet from these challenges emerged a family bound by unyielding loyalty and shared purpose. Amidst the tranquility of the temple, Sha Wujing and Zhu Bajie stood witness to this sacred exchange. Their hearts swelled with pride as they observed Xuanzang, the devoted monk who had brought them together. Wujing, once haunted by his past, now felt the weight of his loyalty transformed into fortitude. Bajie, ever the trickster, recognized the depth of his companionship. His humor had served not only to distract, but to uplift their spirits during the most arduous moments of their expedition. They prepared to leave the sacred ground. A shared moment of reflection dawned upon the three companions. They spoke of their journey, reliving the exhilarating moments of triumph and the lessons gleaned from hardship. After bubbled forth as Zhu Bajie recounted humorous tales of culinary misadventures, while Sha Wujing reminisced about his newfound strength and the pivotal moments of realization when he faced his past demons with grace. With hearts intertwined, they vowed to carry the teachings inscribed in the scriptures far and wide, illuminating the lives of those who crossed their paths. They understood that their journey was not solely about obtaining knowledge, but about nurturing connections forged in the trials of life. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting an ethereal glow upon the land. They set forth toward home. Each step echoed with meaning, the once distant tales now woven into the essence of who they had become. The trials faced and victories claimed served as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, illuminating the path ahead. Upon returning to their homeland, a wave of anticipation washed over them. Townsfolk gathered to greet the quartet of adventurers, eyes filled with curiosity and admiration. Xuanzang, at the forefront, bore the sacred scriptures with reverence, and as he opened the scrolls, a chorus of whispers filled the air, an echo of the teachings, the wisdom that would guide not just him, but the entire community. That transformative moment, the essence of their journey radiated through their words. Stories of courage, laughter, friendship, and the power of unity resonated within every proclamation. Yes, they became not just bearers of the scriptures, but ambassadors of compassion, embodying the teachings they cherished in every interaction. Their tale, now a living testament of growth and understanding, traveled far and wide, echoing through the hearts of those who dared to dream. Twilight wove hues of orange and purple across the sky. The four companions stood proud, knowing their journey would forever inspire others, a serene lullaby of courage and love. Inviting all to embark on their own paths toward enlightenment. The sun cast its warm glow over the land, signaling the end of their remarkable journey. Xuanzang and his loyal companions felt a profound sense of accomplishment. India lay behind them, having gifted them not only the precious scriptures but invaluable lessons of life, unity, and love. With the scrolls securely tucked away, the companions turned their hearts towards home, each step resonating with the echoes of their past adventures. The weight of their experiences had transformed them, knitting their souls together into an unbreakable bond. They were no longer merely a monk and his protectors. They had become a family, intertwined by the fires of trials faced and victories shared. They retraced their steps. The landscapes unfurling before them brought memories rushing back. Wukong leaped ahead playfully, recalling the mischief he had sowed during their travels. Laughter he had shared with his companions became a melody for his soul, reminding him that even in adversity, joy could be found. Zhu Bajie, ever the optimist, rummaged through his belongings, searching for a hidden snack as they journeyed. His gluttonous heart warmed at the thought of sharing food, a simple pleasure that had often brought them together. Every morsel they shared, every moment of camaraderie, turned into a treasured memory, sweetening their path homeward. Sha Wujing walked beside Xuanzang, attuned to the rhythmic sound of nature surrounding them. They moved in unison. The river spirit's strength resonated deeply within him. He reflected on the empowering journey they had shared, filled with moments of self-discovery and resilience. Facing his past demons had unveiled layers within him, transforming him into a steadfast guardian and friend. Soon, the mountains of their homeland appeared on the horizon, its familiarity kindling excitement in their hearts. With each step, they thanked the universe for guiding them safely through perilous encounters and teaching them the value of unity and love. They reached the outskirts of their village. They were greeted by eager townsfolk who had awaited their return. Faces brimming with joy and curiosity surrounded them, a soft warmth enveloping the group as they stepped into the embrace of home. The welcoming atmosphere felt like a comforting quilt, sewn from the shared stories of those who cherished the companions for their bravery. Xuanzang, holding the scriptures close, felt a surge of gratitude fill his heart. That moment, he understood that the journey had always been more than a quest for knowledge. It was about the connections forged along the way and the lessons learned through shared trials. The scriptures now bore the essence of their adventures, ready to illuminate the lives of countless beings. Standing at the center of the gathering, he raised his hands, displaying the sacred texts for all to see. The bright sunlight danced upon the scrolls, and the villagers gasped in awe, witnessing the fulfillment of a long-awaited destiny. Xuanzang, filled with humility, began to share the teachings inscribed within the texts, weaving a narrative that encompassed not only the sacred words but their collective journey. The villagers listened intently. The companions exchanged knowing glances, hearts swelling pridefully in unison. They had not just returned as seekers of wisdom, they had come back as beacons of hope, bringing tales of courage, laughter, and the profound bonds born from their experiences. Wukong, Zhu Bajie, and Sha Wujing had found their purpose alongside their beloved monk. They understood that the greatest strength lay not in solitary achievements, but in the unity formed by love and authenticity. This realization began to ripple through the gathering, forging a connection among all present. Stories of heartache and humor filled the air, and as night blanketed the village, the fires crackled joyously. Companions shared each anecdote, their laughter intermingling with the flickering flames, illuminating the depths of the night sky. The villagers felt the energy of the stories, absorbing the essence of their journey as if each word was a thread stitching their lives together. That beautiful, sacred moment, Xuanzang grasped the profound truth that had unfolded throughout their adventures. Life, much like their journey, was a tapestry of connections, each thread symbolizing experiences, lessons, and loved ones woven together by time and devotion. They finished recounting their tales. The village exhaled a collective sigh of contentment. With hearts filled with gratitude, the companions understood that their journey was far from over. Poised at the beginning of a new chapter, ready to nurture the seeds of wisdom they had collected and inspire others in their community. United in purpose, they embraced the ebb and flow of their lives, permitting the wisdom acquired from their pilgrimage to radiate into the world. And so, the four companions stood as guardians of love and enlightenment, forever marked by their incredible journey to the West. The journey continued toward the sacred land of India. The four companions found their spirits buoyed by a sense of purpose. The sea of the landscape enveloped them, each step resonating with the echoes of their shared trials and triumphs. Sunlight danced upon fields of golden grass, illuminating the path that lay ahead. Xuanzang felt a profound connection to the land, a sense of destiny that intertwined their fates with the ancient wisdom guarded within its borders. Each moment, fraught with significance, propelled them forward, urging them toward their goal, the scriptures said to hold the key to enlightenment. They traversed through winding paths. The beauty of the horizon was punctuated by the silhouette of majestic temples rising in the distance. The ornate designs etched into their walls seemed to tell stories of compassion and awakening, intertwining with the very essence of all who sought truth. Xuanzang marveled at the sight, the promise of knowledge weighing upon his heart as he envisioned the transformation it would inspire in the world. Their excitement, however, was momentarily interrupted by the rippling sound of a flowing river nearby. Drawn by its soothing call, they approached, allowing the cool water to refresh their tired bodies and illuminate their spirits. Bajie, with his insatiable appetite, wasted no time gathering provisions, while Sha Wujing chuckled and assisted him, suggesting they indulge in a small feast by the riverside as a celebration of their journey thus far. Wukong, with a glimmer of mischief in his eye, playfully splashed his companions, disrupting their moment of serenity. After rippled amongst them, warming their hearts and washing away any lingering tension. Moments, Xuanzang felt the bonds of friendship tightening each laugh, each shared morsel of food deepening their connection. The sun began its slow descent, casting warm hues across the sky. They resumed their journey toward the temple. With every step, anticipation mingled with trepidation, for they understood that what awaited them would irrevocably change their lives. The trials of the past sang gently within them, acts of bravery and moments of vulnerability surfacing at the forefront of their minds. Upon reaching the grand temple, they paused in awe. Carved intricately, it stood tall as a testament to the wisdom and spirituality that permeated the air surrounding it. Xuanzang felt his heart race with reverence, a vibration of gratitude swelling within him. This temple was more than a building. It symbolized the culmination of their journey. The sacred scriptures lay within, promising the wisdom needed to illuminate countless hearts. They entered. A hushed silence enveloped them, a peaceful sanctuary filled with the warmth of monks united in their devotion. A high priest, adorned in resplendent robes, approached Xuanzang, his presence commanding yet gentle. He recognized the purity of Xuanzang's intentions, seeing in him the compassion that had guided them through every challenge. A moment interlaced with reverence, the high priest presented Xuanzang with the sacred scriptures. Xuanzang cradled the scrolls. Warmth surged through him, a vivid reminder of the trials faced and lessons learned. Ears pricked at his eyes, reflecting the joy of achieving their noble goal. But also the profound realization that this journey was never truly just his own. It had been a collective endeavor, each companion lending their strength and wisdom. Sha Wujing and Zhu Bajie stood by, their hearts swelling with pride. They had traversed through challenges that shaped their souls, fighting alongside Xuanzang. Wujing, once burdened by his past, embraced the newfound strength that lent him courage. Bajie, ever the comic relief, reflected deeply on the moments of joy and levity he had shared, understanding that humor and perseverance intertwined in their quest. They left the sacred grounds. They gathered for a final moment of reflection. The stories of their journey flowed freely from their lips, echoing laughter from Zhu Bajie, mingled with the marvels of overcoming darkness recounted by Sha Wujing. Together, they absorbed the profound significance of every encounter, cherishing the transformation they had undergone both individually and collectively. Stepping out of the temple, they basked in the golden light of the sun setting on the horizon, a vivid reminder of the world they would return to. United in purpose, they promised to share the teachings inscribed within the scriptures far and wide, illuminating lives with the wisdom cultivated through trials and tribulations. Slight yet full of resolve, they set forth toward home. Each step echoed with meaning, threading their past experiences into the fabric of who they had become. Laughter shared and lessons learned became the lifeblood of their journey, showcasing resilience and the bond forged through friendship. They approached their homeland. A wave of anticipation washed over them, the townsfolk waiting eagerly. Xuanzang stepped forward, cradling the scriptures with reverence. He opened them, a warm light poured forth, illuminating the faces of those gathered and promising to guide all who embraced its teachings. That moment, the essence of their journey blossomed within them, a rich tapestry adorned with stories of courage, laughter, and the enduring spirit of friendship. They had undertaken an extraordinary path into the unknown and returned transformed, ready to inspire others with tales of bravery and the unending quest for enlightenment. Together, the four companions understood that their journey was far from over. Chapter awaited one filled with the promise of wisdom shared, compassion extended, and enlightenment woven into the very fabric of community. United in purpose, their spirits soared, prepared to embrace whatever lay ahead on their continued journey to the west. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a soft glow over the golden temples of India. Xuanzang and his devoted companions stood before the sacred site of the treasured scriptures. The vibrant colors of the land resonated with the heartbeats of countless seekers who had walked the same paths before them. A profound sense of accomplishment enveloped them, for this moment was not merely the culmination of their arduous journey, but also a testament to their unyielding spirit and bond. With each step they took toward the grand temple, a swell of anticipation coursed through Xuanzang. He paused, glancing back at Sun Wukong, Zhu Bajie, and Sha Wujing, their features illuminated by the ambient light. He understood how far they had come. They were no longer just a monk and his protectors, but a family forged in the fires of trials and friendship. They approached the temple's towering entrance. Intricate carvings told tales of compassion and wisdom. Xuanzang marveled at the artistry, and the stories seemed to whisper secrets of the universe into his ears. Within the cool shadows of the temple, a sanctuary of peace awaited them, echoing with the breaths of countless monks who had devoted their lives to the teachings of enlightenment. Standing at the threshold, Xuanzang was greeted by a high priest, his robes shimmering with profound meaning. A priest's kind eyes conveyed an understanding that transcended words. With reverence, he gestured for Xuanzang to follow, leading him deeper into the temple where the sacred scriptures rested. Atmosphere thickened with spiritual energy, and in that moment, Xuanzang's heart swelled with gratitude for the journey that had led him here. He knelt to receive the scrolls. A warmth enveloped him, illuminating the purpose behind the trials faced. Each scroll contained not just words, but the essence of those who had sought enlightenment before him. He could feel their spirits intertwined with his, a lineage of seekers and sages guiding him onward. Emerging from the temple, Xuanzang turned to his companions, their faces reflecting the joy and pride he felt within. Wukong stood with a playful grin, recalling the mischief that had occasionally veered them off track, while Sha Wujing's steadfast gaze mirrored a quiet determination. Ji, ever the jester, reveled in the moment, a gleeful sparkle in his eye, eager to share tales of their comedic adventures along the way. Together, they had faced demons that tested their resolve, navigated temptations that threatened to ensnare them, and celebrated victories that lifted their spirits. These trials had not dimmed their laughter or dulled their hearts. Instead, they had woven a tapestry of resilience, unity, and love. As they began the journey home, each step resonated with meaning. They traversed familiar paths, the landscapes echoing with memories of laughter, courage, and the bonds that deepened with each challenge. With the scriptures securely in hand, they felt a renewed sense of purpose. Their mission was clear: they would share the teachings, illuminating the hearts of all who would listen. Upon returning to their homeland, the air buzzed with anticipation as townsfolk gathered, eager to welcome their beloved companions back home. Xuanzang stepped forward, the scriptures cradled lovingly in his arms, and as he opened the scrolls before the gathering, a radiant light spilled forth. The villagers gasped in awe, mesmerized by the promise of wisdom contained within. Xuanzang began to speak, his voice gentle yet filled with conviction. He shared not only the sacred words inscribed in the texts, but also the stories of their journey, the trials faced, the laughter shared, and the profound relationships built among their group. Each word resonated deeply with the audience, touching hearts and igniting the spark of inquiry. The night descended upon the village. A sense of community enveloped them. A warmth of shared stories woven together formed bonds that transcended time. Laughter and wisdom exchanged became threads in their collective tapestry, a reminder that love and understanding were the true essence of enlightenment. Under the twinkling stars, Xuanzang, son Wukong, Zhu Bajie, and Sha Wujing stood together, reflecting on their incredible journey. Ventured far beyond the realms of their understanding, united by purpose, and marked by transformations that would resonate for generations to come. And so, amidst the warm embrace of their community, they realized the journey was not an end, but a beautiful beginning. Lives would forever be dedicated to nurturing the seeds of wisdom they had sown during their pilgrimage, guiding others toward their own paths of enlightenment. United as guardians of love and shared learning, they would continue to traverse the realms of existence, illuminating the world with compassion, joy, and unwavering loyalty.